your 401k or your information being sold on the dark web. And if there's a problem, one of our US-based identity restoration agents will work to fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but with LifeLock, you'll know your identity is on our radar, even if the last breach is long forgotten. Go to LifeLock.com or call 1-800-LifeLock today to get 10% off when you use promo code NEWS. That's promo code NEWS. LifeLock. More detection, more protection.
Cuba is about to get harder.
Traveling to Cuba for Americans is going to look a lot more like it did before the Obama administration. The government will require most Americans visiting Cuba to do so through an approved tour company, just as they did before President Obama's 2015 overhaul of U.S.-Cuba policy. The Trump administration's restrictions take effect Thursday, though many who've already booked travel may still go. The administration is banning Americans from conducting business with 180 Cuban entities, many of them hotels, that officials say contribute to the Cuban security state. Officials say Americans can still bring home rum and cigars for personal use. The U.S. and Cuba still maintain diplomatic relations, and officials deny these changes are related to the sonic attacks that have injured 24 American diplomats in Cuba. At the State Department, Rich Edson, Fox News.
Less than 2 hours after it was launched in Las Vegas, a driverless shuttle bus has crashed. Police say no injuries were reported in the collision between the shuttle and a semi-truck. It's not yet known what caused the crash. The oval-shaped shuttle can transport up to 12 passengers and has an attendant and computer monitor, but no steering wheel and no brake pedals. It uses GPS and curb sensors to make its way around. Apple on the brink of history as it's on its way to a $1 trillion market cap.
Apple's market cap is bigger than 90% of every country in the world, their GDP. It's crazy. So it took Apple, 10 years to get from $100 billion to $900 billion? When do they get to $1 trillion? All they have to do is add about $18 to their share price, and they're there. Just spoke to an analyst. He says it's either the end of this year or early next year, and it's all because of the iPhone 10.
Fox's Lauren Simonetti. Police in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania have charged a man with DUI after they say he showed up at an elementary school intoxicated and hoping to vote on Monday, thinking it was Election Day. Lisa Lacera, Fox News Radio.
This is meteorologist Christy Shields with your forecast for WBLF. Our low temperature tonight will be 30 degrees. We'll have a mainly to partially clear sky. Throughout the day tomorrow, we'll have clouds along with a few peaks of sunshine. Our high will be 51. Tomorrow night, some showers and snow showers arrive. Friday's high temperature will only be 38. From WTAJ, your weather authority, I'm meteorologist Christy Shields for News Talk 970 AM and 106.3 FM WBLF.
Hey, Bugsy, you hear the news about Vinny?
Yeah, it's a real shame. He owed money to the IRS and they finally cut up with him.
Just like Al Capone.
If the IRS can get the Capone, imagine what they can do to little old Vinny, huh?
Poor cat, he was on top of the world, and bada boom, bada bing.
What Vinny needs now is an offer he can't refuse.
Hey, you got a tax problem? Does the IRS claim you owe them a bunch of dough? They can get you too. So call the tax relief line now and learn if you qualify to negotiate your $10,000 plus IRS tax debt for up to a 75% savings. Don't be like Al or Vinny and get busted. Make this free call now. Learn how you may be able to pay the IRS less. Call now. 888-789-5043. 888-789-5043, 888-789-5043, 888-789-5043.
Every hiring manager knows that a company is only as good as the people it's made from. So where do you find the best people? That may surprise you.
Meet the grads of life. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
This is talent worth knowing about.
Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
Hey, it's Dana on News Talk 970.
Hey, friends, and a pleasant good evening. Welcome to Lions Live, the only network put by the players to the fans. Broadcasting live here at State College, Pennsylvania. My name's Skip Travel. This is the Grizz, Jimmy Kennedy, talking some Penn State football right now. So we're glad to be with you here on a nice, chilly, cold Wednesday evening.
Hey.
How are you?
I hear it's cold out there.
It's chilly, brother. It's chilly, man. We're feeling it.
It's not like that in AZ. It's 80.
Oh.
Nice 80. You know what? The sun is going down, so it might be about 76. I'm lying.
Oh, you're suffering through it. Yeah. You know? Wow. How you feeling, buddy? You doing all right?
No, I'm always surviving. You know how it goes. No complaints.
Well, you know.
What's the point of doing it, all right?
Well, you know, it's just let us know who do care to try to remember to trust the man who can, with the hand, who can put a good one on you and get you fixed. You know?
Exactly why I don't complain.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Well, everything's good. Everything good works out for the good. So, exactly. And even the frustrating loss we had here last week, you know, there's got to be good coming from this, and it's a sore loss. It's our second. I'm sure the fellows in the team are a little disappointed, but there's still hope. You know, there's still plenty of football left to play, and a great bowl game to be able to go to, and you know, it's the Big Ten's kind of like a schizophrenic conference, man. I mean, one team beats another, then another team that beat that one, that lost to that one, ends up beating the team that the other team beat. I mean, it's all over the place. So it's kind of hard to figure this one out here in the Big Ten. But you know, Wisconsin's still without a loss.
It would have been nice to pull this one out and just to see where we would have been, you know, with Ohio State taking the loss the way they did.
Yeah.
You know, that was strictly embarrassing, and it goes back to what I said before. Like I said, I know everyone acts as if I bash J.C. Barrett all the time and so on. That's the quarterback that I know, the one that showed up and got killed. You know, this past game. Like I said, there was added, you know, revenge and so on when it came to playing Penn State. You know, so I think guys is just in the tank. I think coaches are searching for answers, and instead of just relying on what works and get back to having fun, you know, I think we are overthinking things. You know, we should have easily beat Michigan State by about 2 touchdowns. You know, but it was costly penalties. It was, you know, being in a funk to some point after, you know, the Ohio State loss. It was, you know, our cornerbacks didn't play super great. You know, they had number 18 out there looking like Sidney Rice, you know, from, you know, was just catching everything, running around and diving, and you get Andre Rison's son trying to make a name for himself on us. I'm like, oh, you know, it's a game where it rains, it pours. But as long as we calm down, get ourselves back together, and, you know, get back to having fun and playing ball, you know, I think we'll be fine. Because now that, you know, we was on top of the mountain and we got knocked off, that doesn't mean that we had to fall all the way to the ground.
Right.
The 10-2 season has been a great bowl game. It's great. Yeah, I understand, you know, we all have hopes of national championship, but I mean, obviously it's not happening. But Alabama is not even number 1 anymore.
Well, you know, that's something to be said there. You know, and here's the thing. You know, we beat Iowa, and Iowa destroys Ohio State. Yet, you know, it's schizophrenic in this conference, man.
Yeah, no, of course. But like I said, if we get back, like, here's the thing: what do we have to lose now? You know, we have nothing to lose. I don't want them to do what we did in '99. Like I said, we was ranked number 2, and we just kept falling. We lost the last 3. You know, and then went and won our bowl game to finish out the season. You know, so I just don't want them to do that. I want them to get back to having fun, going out there playing good ball. I don't know if they're practicing well and stuff like that. I think they're just, you know, well, with me, I think the small mistakes that they're doing is just adding up. You know, and I think we're playing not to lose instead of playing to win and have fun.
Right. You know, my biggest concern is, you know, because it's real easy for teams to forget the team concept and they internalize this, and it becomes about the individual going forward. Well, what's in the rest of the season for me? How's my future outlook? And they stop thinking about this season. They thinking about themselves and their own personal futures. And that's something that you have to try to fight against, because
I don't really think we have guys like that.
Well, I don't think we do, but listen, if you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, you realize, okay, now how am I fitting into this program here? Because we are season, we're not necessarily looking at a national championship. Where am I fitting into this program? All these questions, I'm sure, stir in guys' minds.
Yeah, definitely. But I think that happens whether you win or lose. Sure. Me personally, we were talking about where we see Saquon going and different stuff like that. Me personally, I think he should come back for another year. But that's just me.
It'd be great to see it happen. Is that is that you, Stefan, or is that Yakova joined us?
That's me, man.
Hey, buddy, glad to have you back there, big dude. Stefan Davis, folks.
Welcome back.
Well, we're giving a recap of our difficult loss here Saturday, and kind of talking a little bit about the conference, how it's such a bizarre scenario where, here we are, we beat Iowa, yet Iowa destroys Ohio State, and we lost them. And it's all over the place. What are you thinking, Stefan?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you a little bit about what you were saying. I mean, I think like Jimmy said, to be able to win these easy. Later we have, I worked this Saturday. I did see on Twitter that Coach Franklin just put Rutgers down there. That's the approach.
Right.
You try to do what you can, and like Jimmy said, the small mistakes add up. So, hey, we saw what it was. It's a matter of 4 points and 2 losses. So you see the little mistakes add up the middle of the big losses. And everybody Corinthians is to practice well, stay healthy, and let's see what's happening. I think the Big Ten is a lot better conference than a lot of people gave it credit for. When we start taking a look at who could be who's there, how much parity there is, and everybody thought there was going to be clear winner, Ohio State, Penn State. Hey, everybody put that out there, but but if we knew who was going to win and how it was going to work, there's no reason to play. So that's what happened, and like you said, nobody wants to make any excuses. Although I have to say, in all my years of football, I've never seen anything like a 3-hour and 28-minute delay. And and of course, both teams played under the same circumstances. So hey, you can't say anything. But I think now it's a matter of pride. It's a matter of heart. And like Jimmy said, doing that there and forgetting why you play football. Some people were playing football since they were 5 years old, and they got to remember why they've been playing football. They have fun. Hit somebody and do what they got to do.
I agree with you, Big Deal. When it comes to the delay, I just don't think we had even. It was even because when you're at home, your home locker room, you have your teams, you have all the training staff that you need, all the training equipment and so on. You have, you're comfortable and everything else is on because it's your home locker. Versus us, we were just sitting there and it was just, waiting around and so on, and guys taking up tape and so on and so on, and then they have the home field and everything else. The grass and stuff is soggy and slowing us down. You got the high and creep now and so on. But we still, like you said, 4 points in 2 games. A loss is a loss. But what I think is that I have a problem with is week 1, week 2, all the way up to Ohio State. For the most part, we have maintained our offense and so on. And it's like we use our weapons, but right now it's so predictable week in and week out. Like when we watch the game this weekend, we know that, okay, and I'm not saying it because I know Jawan Johnson is still young and so on, but we know that he hasn't been consistent yet. So we know that he's going to have a drop. We know he's going to make a decent catch for a first down or so. Gesicki's going to be, jumping and making plays and so on when the ball's going his way. He's going to get a couple of first downs. He's going to be open down the middle and so on here and there. And Saquon and Missouri is going to be running the option or some kind of pitch or have a shake Saquon shift and taking the wildcat formation. It's like so predictable. And when we run a big play, we throw the ball to number 5. Jason. And we're trying to, when we run a big play for the most part, You know, and it's just like, it's so predictable that it's like, all right, what are we gonna do? Like it's not about Saquon winning the Heisman, it's about us winning. Okay, we don't care about the all-purpose yards and so on. Like, you know, maybe he'll be great with a fullback. Maybe he'll be great, you know, with McSorley's on the center a couple of times and so on. I understand he's short and stuff like that, but it'll just help us out. You know, we got 4th and 1 or 3rd and 2 and so on, and we in a shotgun formation with an offset back. You know, of course. And then the only major threat that we have is Deshaun right now with maybe an out route or a back shoulder pass and so on. We're going to have Gesicki running down a seam or something like that. We can't really pass the ball to Saquon, so we always take the option or something like that, or fake a handoff or something, and have McSorley try to run for the first down. So now that's what I'm saying. It's just, when are we going to change those things so we can be productive? Because, all right, once we put something on film, like versus the Ohio State game, versus Iowa gave them the formula so they can go out there and show how to shut us down, and whether guys is overflowing and over pursuing Barkley, we have to count. When that happens, if McSorley if McSorley doesn't make the play when a guy's overrun and everyone's chasing Barkley, we really don't have anyone else stepping up. And I understand that we're young and the future is right, but like I said, it's just predictable right now.
You're a good observation, Jimmy. Once you key, it's like we're a one-dimensional team, and that's easy to shut down. You know, I noticed Juwan Johnson is one guy. I just think he needs to get more passes to him. He stands taller than everybody. And he's in the matchup. You can see when he's lined up outside there. He stands tall over the guys who's trying to defend him on those one-on-one. So, you know, get him the ball. Throw it up there to him. Let him reach up and beat the guy. And just, you know.
I don't think it's really about getting him the ball. Like when I watch him play, he doesn't have the confidence yet.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree. He hasn't been through a full season, and that's no excuse. But I think you're right, Jimmy. I think that's a result of him finding out what it's really all about. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, and honest with you, I'll take that. I mean, he's worked hard, and he just the other part is the gamesmanship that everybody, like you said, can't teach you. I know when you came along as a D lineman, there was experience, and you watching other people do it, but then that part for gamesmanship, you know, how do I play? How do I get myself together? And how do I make sure I play consistently and make the play just like I'm supposed to? Well, he hasn't gotten to that point yet, but I'm so excited to have him.
Yeah.
I think they'll also go back to Saeed Blackall again as well.
Yeah.
It seems like since Saeed Blackall got in trouble, they're having to go to him, and then when you see him, it's always a suspect quarter trying to cover him. So something's missing in terms of who people are looking for, what people are doing. The offense, like you said itself, it's actually a high-risk offense.
Right.
Yeah.
It's high risk and high reward sometimes, but that's the hard part. High risk and low reward when it's not going well.
Yeah, right. It's like if we don't hit the big play, we're not doing anything. You know, and then we go back to the season. It's always been like that. You know, usually when we catch them during a game, it's like, man, they really shutting us out. Oh my God, they're shutting us out. Okay, oh my God, Saquon just took it for 80 yards down the sideline. You know, and then it's like, all right, well, we battle and we're fighting. You know, we're outscoring people in the first half, but we're really not showing up again in the second half. You know, which is like the opposite of what we did last year.
Yeah, I don't. You know, what seems strange to me is I'm just used to seeing quarterbacks spending more time under center, and especially in short down yardage. I don't know. I just like to see the ball being handed hand to hand instead of this toss back in the air. I just wonder if there's really a better way when we're in short yardage distance to try to even have McSorley, you know, run a true option, even get out there and try to stretch this out. He can run. If a hole opens up, give it your dive back. If not, you know, I mean, we're running a spread option, right? Let's option the ball a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with you, Skip. I think what happens is we just need to do something that's not just about having our quarterback on the center. Because remember, Joe used to always tell us, you know, you're not as good as you are when you win. You're not as bad as you are when you lose.
Absolutely.
So it's literally, we're not doing the little things, and the little things is catching up to us.
Well, right. Well, the turnovers kill us too.
I watch non-play, so I'm like, oh my God, that's just a step away. You know, when I see different stuff and I'm scouting and doing different stuff to help them out, I'm just like, man, just switch hands. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, have your outside on free. Like, you make that play easy. Like, you know, like, why you give up your body? Like, different stuff. It's not, oh, you overran that. Like, you know, it's different stuff. And it's not just about D-line play. It's defensive play. Because what's happening is, even when it comes to, you know, like, our secondary, you know, we was getting pass interferences and different stuff and so on because it was confidence. It was like, oh, you felt like you was getting beat. And you was in great position. But if you don't grab them, you make that speed turn, you got an interception.
Well,
it's like watching that stuff, and what happens is sometimes it's hard to judge practice, especially when you're successful, because when you're winning and so on, if you have bad habits in practice, it's covered up because you're winning. You know, so then we're all creatures of habits. So when you now lose, it's like, well, what do I fix? Because I've been doing this the whole time. Okay, well, you lose, and you lose to Ohio State, and then now, all right, cool, so we good. When you go out to practice, you might practice a little harder, run a little bit, you know, more, but you're really not fixing the little things, and then the delay and everything else and so on, and, you know, rain and all that other stuff. Once rain and stuff becomes a factor, NFL isn't about, you know, I played with some talented dudes in college who never had a chance, you know, to play in the NFL. When I was in the NFL, I was like, this guy is really trash. You know, he's really not a great player. But what happened was they become technicians. So when you have, you know, different elements and stuff that you have to deal with, like if your feet can't move as fast, your hands and stuff has to be on point. So now it's like you running through mud and you're doing things. So now it's just strictly technique. So that's why I used to love cold games, rain games, and slow games. Because now it's like I like little stuff, like not turning your shoulders on a double team, because now you're staying square and now you can, you know, collapse the pocket instead of turning your shoulders. They split. Now somebody's on the linebacker, and just me saying that alone is the difference between a TFL, a gain of 1, and a gain of 5. You know what I'm saying? So it's like little stuff like that. That's why when it was time to stop the ball carrier and stuff, we couldn't get them off the field because they was gaining 5 yards on second down because we wasn't turning our shoulders the right way.
All these things add up and make a difference, and the turnovers killed us. We had those 3 interceptions, and you know, anytime you give the ball away like that, and it hurts, because this is a close game. You know, time of possession, everything was close, but those turnovers, you know, except, you know, they had 1, we had 3. And I think that's the difference of the game, really. If we just don't turn that ball over, be more careful. But again, it's those basics, like you said, Jimmy, that make the difference in game wins and losses.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that I go further. There were a couple of critical penalties we did see. And again, I didn't get to see the whole game because so much happened that delayed, and that's why I had one day out. You know, I had to go watch the game somewhere else, but I was there enough to see the end and there enough also to think that we're going to get off the field and we're going to get the ball and maybe score. And then Marcus Allen comes up with that real big roughing the passer penalty. I mean, that was very big. I mean, but he doesn't have that. I can't fault him for being aggressive. You know, Joe used to say too that if it's going to be a mistake, you know, he even told me that one time because I used to be worried about making mistakes. I said, Coach, man, I'm playing, but I'm worried about the mistakes I'm going to make. He said, listen, man, I don't worry about mistakes. He said, especially if it's an aggressive mistake. So it's hard to tell, but gosh, that penalty killed us. I think we're off the field, and I don't know what would have happened. At least we would have had the ball and for the last chance. And I really thought that Tyler Davis was going to be on to kick the field goal, Skip. I really thought
I was hoping that. Yeah, I was counting on that coming up. That's Jimmy and I were texting tonight, and he mentioned field goal.
Yeah, but you know, it's listening. I mean, I agree with that big dude. I think what happens is it goes back to what I said before. I know, number 2, he's one of our leaders, Marcus Allen. But it goes back to what I said before. Like, think about this: if he's not running through mud, that's a bam play. Yeah. You know? So when you running and you going, and it's like you think you got those 2 steps. Those 2 steps is just a little bit slower now when you running through mud. So now it's a slight delay. Whereas if it was dry, it would have been ball out boom. You know, because he would have been that much faster. Like, for example, if every one of our guys who ran, a 5.49 40 or 5.5 40, if they was running in the mud, next it's gonna be a 5.1 or a 5.8 or whatever the case may be. It's just that tenth of a second or hundredth of a second is the difference now when it becomes a technique thing, because he was already coming full throttle through the mud, through the heavy rain and stuff like that. How do you pull up on that? You know?
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. I wanted to ask you, Jimmy, and Stefan as well. When weather conditions turn like this and the field conditions make a big difference, do you see the offense having a slight advantage over the defense since they know what they're going to be coming at you with?
In the past, I would say, yeah. Like, in the past, I guess it all depends on who it is. Like, do I see Penn State having a slight edge over people? I'll say no, because keep in mind, no matter when it is, once the weather change, guess what I say? I say fat boy weather. It's for defense. It's for us now. It's for us to pound and everything else and so on. You know, our hands in the dirt. How long can you hold me when your hands is cold? You're going to keep grabbing me? I'm going to keep chopping your forearm. I'm going to keep hitting your hands while they cold and everything else. Like, it's little techniques and so on that we do to make sure it's because it's a battle. And that's why it's called the trenches. Now, understand what I'm saying. That works, but that works in our favor. And I'll, you know, I'm not trying to take away from Penn State, because I don't want this to just strictly be bash Penn State negative.
No,
but that works when you run in dives and counters and, you know, zones and so on, whatever. Because now it's you win at the line. You know, so like, think about this. I understand that Saquon offers. He's strong, he's powerful, but they're using him like a New Orleans Saints running back. You know, he has to be out of the backfield and so on. And like I said to you guys before, if Saquon was to go to Kansas City right now, he's one cut, he's downhill. And I believe that every carry he'll get 5 to 6 yards for the most part. If he's at the old San Francisco, you know, when they had Frank Gore, I believe that Saquon is strong enough to bring that inside, in between the tackles. So what I'm saying is this: only time we put Saquon in a position to where he can run in between the tackles is when it's obvious.
Right.
If we go out right now, I guarantee you, if we go out there this weekend, this Saturday, and we come out in an I formation, I guarantee you, Rutgers won't know what to do with it.
Right.
Because now it's going to be like, whoa, hold up, that's the counter. Like, and not because of practice, because I'm sure, you know, they played other teams that run zones and counters and dives and everything else. But we come out like that, when are we going to have, like once we get the lead, when are we going to just chip away the time?
Right.
We don't have that. It's like, we got the lead. All right, let's get another big play so we can get our defense back out here.
Do you remember the days? We'd line up with a power eye? We'd put 3 guys back there and just pound that ball between the tackles, like you say, Jimmy. In short yardage, I don't see us trying to do those plays. I don't understand. Do we have that capability to run the ball between the tackles and pound it for that short yardage? Why? I'd like to see the quarterback under center, get the big guys up there, and let's pound it. Just pound it right up the gut. And I mean, I know people didn't like running the ball, up the gut like that. But I'm telling you, there's plays in short yardage when you need to be able to show your strength, show your muscle, and come straight directly at that other team and say, look, we're going to keep pounding all day till you shut us down, and that'll open up the pass. I don't see that. I see us coming out short yardage plays, and we're trying to pass the ball 60 yards across the other end of the field to somebody. I don't get that. That doesn't make sense to me. To me, I'm saying, look, let's put our linemen to the test. Let's put our running backs to the test. Saquon's a great athlete. He can duck and juke, shake, bake, do whatever you want to do, and jump up top, leap over top people. I remember we used to have guys that leaped up over top the pile. Let's do it. I miss that type of football, man. Stefan, you remember practice? I mean, we would see piles of people 4 or 5 feet high and guys going up and over. I mean, I miss that type of football, I don't know if we do that or not anymore. And I haven't seen it. I miss it.
I think that's the problem. It's just football. That's one of the reasons I'm not sure. I mean, I used to want to have coaching. It's just so different at every level and everything. Everybody wants to run those plays, and they are beautiful, those plays. Like I said, Jimmy, to look at those stretch plays and other things. Mm-hmm. Even the tight ends, I wanted to know, even if you look at Gesicki and you look at Pecos, the question is, who's the tight end? I know in the NFL what they have is you got the guy in motion who doubles as a tight end and a fullback. He's in there. He's in there at the slot. He's at the wing, or the guy's at the wing, and he's going in motion. And then when he passes the center, he flattens out like he's a fullback. So I'm not so sure because we're so vertical that we have those guys. I mean, I haven't seen them. I mean, I've seen Pecos, and they're all pass receivers. And Gesicki, he's a good blocker, but I haven't seen too much from him out of the backfield.
You know what it is, big dude? We are a copycat league, no matter what it is. To understand is when they started saying the whole offense thing, putting points on the board and everything else and so on, this started to change once the Rams, back in the day with Kurt Warner, became the fastest team on turf. Now, if you add as times change, you get, Tebow having success with the option and so on down in Florida. And just things just change. If you notice right now in the NFL, there isn't in the fullback position anymore. Once in a blue moon, you might go jumbo line, and you might get a defensive lineman or offensive lineman go in there at fullback or something like that. And the only team that I've seen do that so far is Kansas City. I believe maybe the Colts once. But other than that, there's not even a fullback position anymore because everything is, run and gun downfield and everything else and so on. And it's the same thing when it comes to, college ball. But what's the difference, and here's what I don't think people realize, the difference is Alabama still does it. Alabama still run between the tackles and so on. They still set up the run game and so on before they end up passing. You understand? They still establish themselves and so on. If you look at, Clemson and so on, last year I know they won. Obviously, Deshaun Watson is a freak athlete and so on, but they won, with his leadership and so on. But overall, Alabama still plays old school football still. Tough defense, in between the tackles, let's go. That's the way it was. Like, I know everyone's like, oh, the Big Ten surprising you and so on. I was like, hold up, I'm either going to play offensive line or defensive line. And where do I want to be when it comes to offensive, defensive line? I'm saying the Big Ten. Now, I being a New Yorker, I didn't want to go too far from home and everything else, but, it was like, Penn State, I thought it was the best place for me and so on. But if we go back in history, you look, when I came in, Penn State was power running. We had Curtis Enos and so on when I was coming out. He was just leaving and so on. They was running the ball. We had Collins, Aaron
Johnson,
Collins and so on. Like we you know what I'm saying? So we had just a bunch of guys, Omar Easy was a fullback and so on, Eric McCool, Larry Johnson, Kenny Watson. We had a bunch of guys. Even Ricky Upton came in. We had a bunch of guys to run the ball and so on, and we didn't have as many receivers. I'm literally saying, like, receiver-wise, that I truly played with is probably, Choppy Fields and, Brian Johnson. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying no one else made plays. But our opponents were, Antoine Randall and those guys in Indiana, they always came to play. Him being a free athlete, being do everything on the field. On defense, you still had Alawale Agonier and those guys and so on, who, if he didn't tear his ACL his senior year and so on, he probably would have been, first and second with Courtney Brown.
Wow.
So, and he proved it when he got to the league with Miami and on opposite side of Jason Taylor in Chicago.
About that. Wow.
Yeah. So, it's like you still had those guys coming to play. You still had, even though, Nebraska wasn't in it, you had Frost and those guys and so on out there playing. You had, it was another guy, another quarterback there. They had a brother that was real slim and so on, and he always came to play. So as you go through it, Minnesota always had a good ground and pound. They going to run the ball down your throat. So you just like Wisconsin always had big boys. They had their running backs and so on. A few of them. I can't even think of the guy's name. He went to the Vikings. And he was solid. And then on defense they had Wendell Bryant and those guys. So they always had Michigan had the A-Train and so on, and Hutchinson and all those guys, and on defense they had everyone playing. So it's like we always knock each other off. So that's just who we are. Even the Maurice Claret and all those guys at Ohio State. Just a gang of guys, Belisari and all those guys. Even Michigan State with T.J. Duckett and so on. We always had a big running back to now run people over and stuff, and we don't have that right now.
You're right. You're right. You're right on.
So when we go out there right now, I can't say that we need to change our identity, because now I just think we need to add. I always was taught this: for every action, there's a reaction. Okay, so now I was always taught that, especially in the NFL, we do things just to put it on film. So now, if people continue to put on film how to stop us, don't you think we should change that? Where's our reaction?
Sure. I'd love to see us get a big fullback in there, line up in a power eye, and let's pound the ball again.
I think Jimmy's right. I'm not so sure we have one. I mean, I don't.
You're right. I mean, we may have to recruit a guy off the line to do it. I mean, it worked. Why not? Let's get a big guy there.
If you got undersized linemen, you got that kid Gibbons in there on defense. He looks like an athlete. He gained 25 pounds, and now he's 290. But I'll bet you he could run in motion and knock the crap out of somebody.
Exactly. Now you're talking.
He can do it.
Right.
But I guess the issue is the focus with that offense and the philosophy and the tempo. And again, Jimmy, you're more recent than we are with it, but I just saw football change so much, and I liked it. There's parts of it I like, and again, I like it as a package. I don't like it as an offense. One person said you got to make your mind up one way or the other, but I'm like, why can't you have it as a package? But I guess, like you said, we didn't play 6 and 7 receivers. We didn't do all that. They did not get to play. They did not. I mean, national championship year, you had E-Rock, Eric Hamilton, and you had Raymond Roundtree, and Michael Jackson had separated shoulders. So
and Michael Alexander. Michael Alexander.
Yeah, so we had some different people there, and then we had plenty of tight ends who they were, and Cyberlin, he was 6'7", 250, and you had Paul Parford, good sized guy. So
right.
Right.
But then look what we did in the backfield. But Stefan, look what we did in the backfield. We had 4 or 5 backs. And look, we had Tim Manoa, as a fullback. I mean, he's huge.
Oh, yeah, Steve. That's what I was going to say. And Steve Smith, you remember. Steve Smith played in the league for 13 years. They don't have a Steve Smith kind of. He doesn't exist.
Right.
Or Tim Manoa.
Right.
Tim Manoa was a big back, so we used him. And then you had David Clark, who's about 210 pounds. That can play either one.
So David did his time in the league, too. He was out there at the Raiders. Yeah. He was.
Yeah. So Steve went out there. He went out there and cracked heads, man, and that's all there is to it. They don't have nobody out there, cracking heads, kicking butt, man. And it is, unfortunately, and our students are all doing their research papers now and their presentations on concussions. I mean, it's an occupational hazard, to be honest with you, when they ask that. Well, I don't give my own opinion on it because it's up to them. And they said, should it be banned? They said, no. There's only so many ways the rules can change. And I think that's part of what's going on, too, Skip. The rules have changed so much, man, where people are just so worried about other stuff, man. It's like, what are you going to do?
Well,
it's somebody in there. It's ISO block on the linebacker, and you go smack the linebacker. There's no science to it, man. You keep your feet moving. Joe used to say, spread your feet. Spread your feet on contact. That's what you got to do. And you run through the daggone linebacker. People just I think that's how we beat Iowa. People don't realize we really didn't start getting Iowa until not just a move Barkley threw on somebody, but when Barkley smacked number 43 on Iowa pass protection, man, and put him down and knocked the wind out of him, that's when the game changed.
Yeah.
It wasn't his long run. It was the shot he gave that kid.
Right. right. Make him pay. Right on. Hey, I think your Cove joined us. Glad to be with you, buddy. How you been?
This guy.
How you guys doing?
Oh, man, this dude, man.
Hey, I got a question, though.
What's up, Forfeit King?
I just wanted to ask. Oh, look at the they got a little jab in there. Oh.
Captain, hey, Jimmy, you call him Captain Forfeit, man, because you had a forfeit last week, cousin. Sorry.
Yeah, I wanted to ask.
Captain Forfeit. Only Captain Forfeit.
Hey, your missed games cost you sandwiches, bro.
Yeah, man.
Wait a minute, man. Come on.
You forfeit.
You forfeit all those games.
Hey, I was on the show, big dude.
I know that,
but you hung up early.
You didn't give us your breaks.
We heard the little ones crying. I think we heard was
8:30. I was on the show till like 8:30.
We missed your picks, Cove. We need them.
Listen, when we had picks, and the only thing we heard was.
Yeah.
Well, I can't blame the man for being a family man. But hey, let me ask you this: what should we do here, Yakov? Now, if you'll be honest, and let us know the one you missed.
That's about the DBs, man.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I mean, I had Penn State of course.
Okay.
So,
I'm adding it now. But we had last week though. What about Wisconsin, Indiana? Who'd you pick for that one?
I would have picked Wisconsin for that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You gonna name everybody? Yeah, man.
What about your buddy Lovey out there with the Illinois and Purdue? Who'd you pick for that?
You would have picked Illinois, bro. Come on.
I'll take Illinois, even if they lost. I haven't caught all the games.
Okay.
I don't know all the games.
Well, what about
now you about to end up 4-1?
Okay. Yeah. What about the Ohio State and Iowa?
I would have probably taken Ohio State.
Okay.
You would have said Iowa.
He's being honest. Okay. What about?
Hey, Jimmy. Wait a minute, Jimmy. Me and you both picked Iowa, didn't we?
You did.
Iowa.
Yeah, you guys did. So what about Northwestern?
No, I wasn't picking Ohio State.
Who was that, Skip?
Northwestern, Nebraska last week.
I would have taken Northwestern.
Okay, what about Maryland Rutgers?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, look it up. Don't look it up.
Maryland.
Okay.
Okay.
You lost.
Yeah, I know. That's good. What about Michigan, Minnesota?
I take Michigan.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll let you.
You got those. Hey, you lying? You got an Alexa. You over there?
I know, man.
Every time Skip asks, you over there, Alexa. Let me find out.
Look, though, I wanted to ask you guys, though, based out of 4 games, I just wanted to look at 4 games. Iowa, Michigan State, Michigan, Ohio State. So if you take those 4 games from last year, we won Iowa. We whooped them early in the first half. This year we struggled. You take Ohio State, we won, we lost, it was real close. And then you take Michigan, that was a big difference from last year to this year. And then Michigan State, we won, but then we lost this year. So my question is it because they know what we're doing? Are we struggling with this? Or like the rushing yards from last year's game versus this year's game from rushing was a lot different in all 4 of those games. You know what I mean? So I'm just wondering, I just wanted to hear your guys' thoughts on that.
We kind of talked about it a little bit, but
what's that?
I said we kind of talked about it a little bit, but it's okay. I mean, basically though, and look at all those different games. I think we all said the same thing there. And I think let me just sum it up to where Jimmy was talking about. Everybody's seeing us. We did put certain things there that were different. I think Jimmy was talking about the response. Not necessarily that we do things in a certain way and have to execute, because we know you got to do that. But then, what's the response? What are we going to put on film, and what are we going to do to other people to take people out of us looking predictable? To sum it all up, Jimmy, that's what I think the last thing.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
I think that's what we spoke about, Phil. I mean, we got to do things they're not ready for. I mean, like remember the Titans. One thing I really think that movie, the guy told him at the end, he said, look, you got to give them something they're not ready for. That's the first thing they said. So you got to give them, and I don't mean double reverse pass for a touchdown, but more of the approach and more us finding out what do we do to gut the defense, man. Because what's happening is, Yaakov, you tell me what's going on, man. We get inside the red zone and we go man and we go cover 3. I'm gonna tell you something right now, and forgive me, Penn State fans and Penn State, but they are targeting Troy Apke, number 28. He is a target.
Yeah,
going right after.
I agree there. And listen, this last game, Grant Haley was looking like old school Yaakov with all these PRs.
Wow. Yeah, man. You know you're wrong for that, man. You're wrong, and you know you're wrong for that.
Nah, I'm just messing with him because he ain't turned his.
I know.
Hey, Haynes still owe me because he jumped off sides. I don't know if you remember, Grizz, but he jumped off sides against Ohio State, against Joe Pye, and it took away, it brought back my pick. I didn't know if you knew that, Grizz.
I know, man.
Haynes jumped off sides against Ohio State, and it was an interception, and they said it didn't count because he jumped off sides.
And that was his only pick of the year, big dude. I was like, man.
No, that was the second pick of the game, Grizz. Come on, man.
No, I know.
Come on, Grizz.
Yaakov finished the season with 1 pick because of that. he thought he was going to be able to throw up a peace sign. How many you got, Yaakov?
That was the only pick of the season, man. He took it away. So,
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, no,
I remember you crying in that locker room because of that too, though. You was crying.
Man, I don't know what was going on, man. I don't know what was going on, man. But we pulled that one off, though, Grizz. We pulled that one off, though.
Yeah, I think the fellas will be all right as long as they get back to the drawing board, you know, and get back to having fun. If they get back to having fun, I think they'll be fine. It don't seem like it's fun anymore out there. It seems like when things is going wrong and things is in disarray, it's like they're looking at each other like, okay, what we doing? And they're trying to rush through things instead of slowing things down and saying, like, I think when things is going crazy, let's stop blitzing. Let's call it defense. Let's get us in something settled that guys are comfortable with and get back on it. Let's not go crazy because now we're blitzing and most likely they in a rhythm. They throwing hot passes and everything else is on. We bringing the linebacker. So throw them off.
I agree. I think that what I'm seeing, which is concerning me, and I thought we got by it, but once we blitzed, the other teams seem to want it because they believe they have the matchups. Where did that come from? I was like, whoa, man, they look like they want the matchups against it, Grant Early, and they want the matchups against
one-on-one. Yep.
Yeah, and even Christian Campbell was like, dang, man, this one right. And it wasn't interference. Hey, man, listen, I ain't even that. But it's just you know, you wonder what it is people are studying. But like I said, I think the focus now, Rutgers, what do we do? And I think I still think it's attitude. I'm not saying that they didn't play good or bad, and you know, and I don't blame the coach. By the way, we all saw. I don't know if you read the notes. I know Yaakov, you came up with the notes that come from Angie Hummel from the Letterman's Club. You know, where he said, "Hey, I'm going to tell these dudes about losing and about leaving. Don't go leaving off the field like a bum, man. Get your ball back here. Bums do that. You know what I mean?
I love that. You know, that's what Penn State is about. You win as a team, you lose as a team.
Right.
Don't go running off, hanging your head.
Right.
No, man.
At 1 point, you know, or whatever it was. Like, come on now.
Yeah. And he did say that, hey, you know, Coa Farmer, who he yelled at, I was surprised he's a senior of all the people, and I'm glad he talked to him. They said he talked Sunday or whatever, but there's got to be, like you said, Jimmy, a whole aspect in, and for some reason they stopped expecting to do well. You know, and that's what it is. You got to go out there expecting to do well, expecting it to be cold, expecting it to be, like you said, your best game, and expecting it to war of attrition that you know you're gonna win, and you expect to win.
You gotta believe. Make it happen. Yep, right on. Wow.
So how much time we got for picks, man?
Well, we can get through this, guys. I think we can actually.
Yeah, let's get through it.
Yeah, let's do it. Here we got Indiana, Illinois.
Yaakov got.
Oh, at Illinois or where we?
It's Illinois at Illinois.
Yaakov, man, you wild dude, man.
As much as it ain't gonna matter. I gotta go in Indiana. Illinois, they haven't. They got
no love for Lovey.
Hey, Lovey loved all of my wins away.
Hey, we're in a 3-way tie. Big Dude's got us by 4 games overall for the season. Yakov, Jimmy, and myself are all tied up here for second.
Oh, wow.
So 3-way race. Big Dude's got 4 games on us. He has to blow up.
Technically, last week I took my shot, and I should be tied for second. And technically, y'all supposed to be at the bottom.
Well, and technically, I should be one.
Wait a minute.
I checked my phone and looked for the pics. As soon as I ain't see him, Yakov, I started doing the fat boy dance. I was like, oh, yeah. I'm in.
Well, don't forget, the week before with Ohio, I'd be in second right now. So.
Hey. I was on the show.
Yeah, you were. You made it. You
gotta give me something. I hung in there. All right, go ahead.
Hey, is anybody picking Illinois? I didn't think so.
No.
All right.
No.
Okay. All right. Nebraska, Minnesota.
The game's at Minnesota, right?
At Minnesota.
Yeah, Nebraska, it could be due for a win, but I just, Minnesota got their behinds kicked last week, and I might actually take a chance on Nebraska this week.
Really?
I want to go with Nebraska.
Wow.
Yeah, they got trash last week.
Okay.
That could be a good one, though, big dude. I mean, hey, when you got the lead, you can take a chance. You know what I mean?
Listen,
try to crack on me there. He didn't give me no credit for my picks, Jimmy. Man, I can't give you no credit.
I got Minnesota in that one. What do you guys got?
Yeah, I'm going with Nebraska.
Okay.
He said Minnesota got killed last week too, huh? And is that Minnesota?
It's at Minnesota.
Yeah. Michigan kicked their 3-letter word.
Yeah. What's Nebraska's record right now? They only got one losses?
What they won?
2 wins?
3 games?
They're hurting this year, but I think Minnesota's going to play at home, and they're going to lick their wounds and come back and they're going to smell. They're going to smell that smell of death of Nebraska.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Minnesota on that one because it's home. Good.
All right, Yakov, you're torn. What do you got?
What we got, Skip?
It's Nebraska, Minnesota. Nebraska.
Oh yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Yeah, I got Minnesota. Yeah, I got Minnesota.
Okay. Hey, then we have this is going to be a good game to watch. I don't know what time kickoff is for this one. Michigan State, Ohio State.
Ooh. It's at Ohio State?
At Ohio State.
I gotta give it to him at the shoe. I believe it's gonna be a great football game. And I don't think JT Barrett's gonna play particularly well, but I just think Ohio State grinds through this one, man. I mean, that's all I can really say. And to come out there and get embarrassed 2 weeks in a row, I just don't see it. Especially at the shoe. I think Ohio State.
Yeah, I'm with Old State on that one. Hate it, but I have to.
I know. I hate it.
Yakov?
You got me hating them, Jimmy. we didn't even play them.
Hey, Yakov, what do you got, Yakov?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go with Ohio State, but I do remember that game. Michigan State beat Ohio State one year. I can't remember, it was a couple years back, but I do remember that coach did upset them one time. But
right, that's wha I'm picking them. I'm picking Michigan State to beat them.
You know what? I'm kind of thinking about it, but I'm gonna just go with Ohio State.
I'm gambling on this one. I'm picking Michigan State with upset on that one, man. Michigan State's playing some good ball, and I think
they are.
And I think they beat us. So and I want to see them beat Ohio State too, because Ohio State needs to have some more losses. So
that's true. That's true.
So I'm going for Michigan.
Yeah, and listen, I won't be mad if I lose that pick. I won't be mad.
Okay, I got you. That's good. That's good. Hey, we got Michigan at Maryland. That shouldn't be too hard to pick now.
Yeah, I think Michigan. Maryland's gotten better. Maryland actually has got through a lot of injuries and come back. If there's a gutsiest team in the Big Ten award, you got to give it to Maryland after what they've fought through. And they'll win that. They just aren't going to win.
Right. Anybody going to pick Maryland in this one?
No.
I don't think so. Okay. Now here's one for you. Purdue at Northwestern.
Ooh. Wow.
I'm going Purdue on that one.
I picked them too.
Ooh.
I picked them too. That's who I got.
I tell you what, I want to go Northwestern. I think they keep it moving. They're tough at home, and I think Purdue's going to play well. But man, also in my back pocket, that loss to Rutgers on the road, that one killed me.
Oh yeah, I did forget about that one. Hold up.
12 to 9. 12 to 9 they lost.
Yeah.
Now it's shocking as it sounds. Northwestern is 6-3 and Penn State is 7-2.
I believe it. Well, Northwestern
it's shocking, but they're still 6-3, even though they're not getting the respect. They're 6-3. They're 4-2 in the Big Ten.
This is Northwestern.
Northwestern. They're right beneath Wisconsin. Well, Wisconsin's 9-0. I mean, Wisconsin's 9-0, 6-0 in the Big Ten. And
Northwestern. Right. Wait a minute. Northwestern did they beat Iowa? I think so.
Well, they got 2 losses in the Big Ten.
Lost to Penn State.
Skip, I'm switching over, Skip.
Okay.
No, they beat Michigan State. They beat Michigan State and they beat Iowa.
Ooh.
They lost to Penn State and Wisconsin. They lost to Penn State and Wisconsin.
Yeah, I'm going Northwestern on that one.
Okay.
And then they beat Maryland, Iowa, Michigan State, and Nebraska.
But 4 and 5, I don't know. I think they're due for a win. So
Hey, Northwestern must have caught a little. Yeah.
Now you hype like Chicago back on the map.
Hey,
Hey, you know what? How about this? Give us an ID break. Give us an ID.
Well, we have it coming right up here in about the next 20 seconds. So, Yakov, you think about that one, but we'll check right back with your pick after that one, folks.
Well, don't worry, he'll change it.
I believe it. Folks, you're listening to Lions Live and the Forever Lions Network. We're going to be taking our required ID break here. So we have to do this legal thing each week, and we're going to finish up with our picks. So please stand by.
Help us give every baby a fighting chance so that more babies can come home healthy. Learn how at marchofdimes.org.
At 106.3 FM and 970 AM. WBLF Bellefonte State College. W292 Easy. Altoona Bellefonte State College. Local news, sports, and weather. WBLF. Depend on it.
And we're back here to Lions Live, the only network built by the players and fans. We got the Grizz, Jimmy Kennedy, Yakov Israel, and big dude Stephen Davis. My name's Skip Drabelbis. I'm live here in State College. We got these guys scattered out from all over the country, folks. But it's kind of cool. We get in here each week talking Penn State football, giving some picks here for this week. And we're back here to Yakov making this pick here. Purdue at Northwestern. I'm the only guy so far sticking my neck out here for Purdue. And Yakov, what's your pick?
Oh, man. Yeah, I'm going to go with I got to go with the Chi-Town. I'll take Chi-Town on that.
Okay.
Come on, Grizz. Come on, Grizz.
Say their name, bro.
Come on, Grizz.
Wow.
Hey, I know the NY got skills, but I'm gonna pick Northwestern for this.
We'll see.
Well, I'm hoping to see some. I'm gambling, guys. I'm gambling this week. Try to make a run for some games here. This next game also is going to be a really good one to watch. Iowa at Wisconsin.
Does Wisconsin go down? Let's see.
That's going to be the game to watch. This is Big Ten, man. This is like a playoff in itself.
Wow.
I guess the question is, does that Ohio State win mean anything for how they come into Wisconsin?
That's the question.
And Wisconsin, they still got Michigan left too. They still got Michigan left.
Hey, listen, Iowa at Wisconsin. Iowa only plays well at home.
Seems to be.
That's when they pull it.
Especially well at home.
It's usually a home thing.
Well, hey.
So I'm going with
I think I'm going to go with, I guess, my better judgment only because you wonder if Iowa's on a roll. I think they're going to play a very good football game, but just not good enough.
Wisconsin.
I agree. I think that Taylor kid, when he gets one-on-one with number 43 on Iowa, man, I mean, he'll make a couple tackles, but as the game goes on, that Taylor kid, he's right now the hottest running back in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
23.
And you know, it's shocking that Wisconsin is number 6, but it seems like all the hype is around like Michigan State and, you know, Ohio State, but Wisconsin's number 6 too. So
here's the weirdest thing, and I actually picked Wisconsin as one myself. But here's the weirdest thing: Iowa is this is why I'm a little worried about it. But Iowa is the upsetter this year. They are the team. They're the upsetter. It seems like, you know, look what we almost lost to them, but then look what they've done and turned around and done to the other teams as well, and the teams that beat us too. So they're an upsetter, but I still think Wisconsin's going to be the team to beat in the Big Ten this year.
Upset or not, every game that you talk about there where they was even close was a home game for them.
That's right. That's a good point, Jimmy. Good point. Yeah, they do well at home, no doubt.
When and I understand. I think it's great. You know, you get players there, soft-hearted. Then you got the Children's Hospital. The fans is waving. I already told you guys. It's like, man, like you feel bad. So, you know, they already play hard. But adding that part to it, think about it. The games that they lose are usually within 7 points for the most part. You know, so I think you know. So I told you guys earlier, I think strategy-wise, so obviously I'm not playing off of sickness or nothing like that. I just think it was just a remarkable, you know, strategy and a remarkable situation to set it up like that. You put people's hearts and emotions on the line, you know, like even if the game is close and all the fans turn and wave to the hospital, like even if you're trying to just focus on football, you're like, what are they waving at? You're going to look, they're discussing game plans, you're going to start feeling bad. You know, it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like games, man.
So you think them playing the bleeding the heart's and the heartstrings is gonna make that big a difference?
No, I'm just saying that I think that's why they're already a tough team. But what I'm saying is, it's the home games. I think that plays a part.
Sure.
I don't think we don't talk about them almost pulling an upset when it's a road game.
Yeah, that was a great game. A good win for us, but. Man, look what Iowa's done with everybody they played. That's going to be a really good game to watch, but I still think Wisconsin at home is going to be the team to beat on this one.
Yeah.
Anybody going to pick Iowa?
Nope. Nah, not me.
We're all going Wisconsin.
Oh, everybody going Wisconsin, huh?
Hey, you want me to change it?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
Wisconsin has seemed like they've been so quiet, but they're ranked so high though.
Yeah. Well, I hope they represent the Big Ten well when it comes down to the end. We need to have a Big Ten playing in one of the playoffs here because.
Well, really, when you look at Wisconsin's schedule, though, they played Utah State, Florida Atlantic, BYU, Northwestern, Nebraska, Purdue, Maryland, Illinois, Indiana. That's who they played.
They haven't played anybody tough. I agree with you on that one.
You know what I mean? Like the toughest team they might have played would have been maybe Nebraska, Northwestern, BYU.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, they haven't played anybody tough. They've really had a cupcake kind of schedule.
So you know, Iowa's played some tough teams.
They have, and they played well.
That's why nobody's talking about them.
Well, and they're beating the tough teams. You know, look what they did last week. I mean,
hey Skip, how about the Irish though? The Irish boy.
Oh, don't even go there, man.
Yeah,
I can't
I'm
stand
getting sick of hearing about the Irish.
I don't care who they play. They got to lose.
The Irish, so I like messing with them.
Oh,
you just want to see my face and your cringe when you say no.
Yeah, that's when we play, Skip. You know, when we play Steve Berline, man, he was talking some big junk. You don't see too many quarterbacks talking trash, man. That joker was talking major trash when we beat them, man.
He's Phillip Rivers.
Well,
I said he act like Phillip Rivers, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Or vice versa. Phillip Rivers act like him. This joker was. I mean, even when Timmy Johnson picked him up and slammed him on his head. and Bobby White, you know, they brought out that game. See, this is what you're talking about, Jimmy. Bobby White was the type of player, man. Nobody knew he wasn't ranked anything, man. We just knew he was a monster, man. Yeah. He went up there, man, and made the difference. All the stuff he had to do, you know, the play to run, the athletic plays, and everything. But so who we got next?
Well, back to our game. You know, I'm almost thinking now with what Yakov said. You know, I'm changing mine. I'm actually going to pick. I'm picking an upset for Iowa. At Wisconsin.
You know what, though, Skip? I'm almost.
Oh, Skip, man. You're going back on the radio, man. You were supposed to be on the radio. You're supposed to never go back on.
I know Jimmy did it. He changed his earlier tonight.
Don't put me in it. This is my first year.
It's nothing till after the show, right? After the show. By the way, this is actually, as we're doing this, I'm updating it live, real time on lionslive.com. So if you see our picks, you actually see them.
And really, I'm actually double guessing my my Nebraska pick because Nebraska started to look better to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Well, we got to do it before the show ends. Okay.
He wants a quick YouTube video of highlights.
I know.
They're looking a little better than I thought. They're looking a little better than I thought.
Yeah. Well, I'm switching back to Iowa on that one. Do you want me to change in Nebraska, or you Minnesota, Nebraska?
No, that's all right, Skip. We'll let you do it. We'll let you do it.
Give me that Nebraska, Skip.
You want Nebraska?
I'm going to go with Nebraska. Give me that one.
I'll give you that one. Okay. We need you to lose a few more.
Wow.
I think we got.
That's fire.
Well, actually, Stefan, you picked Nebraska too, and you need to lose a few more too, because Jimmy and I got to catch up. So.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
Hey, we have a three-way tie in the basement or a three-way tie at second. How do you want to look at it? So this week, I think we'll get some separation of some of our picks. We got Penn State, Rutgers, guys. I think we all got Penn State for this one.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Give me some scores.
That Penn State.
Yeah. Rutgers, this can be.
Two losses got us at a 9:00 game.
I hate those the 12 o'clock Eastern games, man. Skip, I'm going to be there. I haven't told you yet, Cole. I'm going to be in town, man. I mean, and what's this right here? Did we get snow yesterday?
It was snowing. Yes, it was snowing. Nice big flakes yesterday.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't that serious then, but.
No, it wasn't necessarily. It wasn't accumulating, but it's that type of day when you get out to practice and you're like, you have that excitement and want to play in the snow. I always had that.
Bring out that truck, big dude.
Oh Lord.
So big dude, when are you coming, big dude?
I'll be there late Friday night because my brother is getting honored. He's getting a Lifetime Achievement Award. Otherwise, I would have left in the afternoon, but I can't. I'm going to be staying somewhere right off of Westerly Parkway or whatever.
Okay. Oh, you're probably going to make it back after.
The big dude gonna hang a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm going with Kirkendall, man. We got a house with Kirkendall and Sam, and we'll be up there, man. It'll be like 14 people. I don't know about the bathroom situation. That's the only thing I'm worried about.
Well, we have that dinner at 7 o'clock.
That's when you realize you're getting older when that's a priority.
Oh yeah. Hey, Stefan, let me ask you. See, I got the text today about the dinner at 7 o'clock. Do you think it'll make it in by 7 for dinner or not? You're looking later.
Wait a minute. For what dinner? I'm sorry.
Carolyn. Remember Carolyn? We all get Carolyn.
No, I won't because I have my brother's getting honored on Friday night at a dinner.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you'll be coming up late then. So okay.
Yeah, but we'll beat the traffic. Sure. I'm going to get out of there. I'm going to be there for an hour. I'm going to introduce him. He's done great things, and he's played in the league. Both my brothers did in the 70s, and he was with the Steelers, and my other brother was with the 49ers and the Cardinals, and back in the day. So
that's awesome.
They played, man, and they played when there wasn't no arthroscopic surgery. That's when the joke is, man, they just cut on your knee.
That big cut down the front of your kneecap.
Yeah, and he was the president of the Philadelphia NFL Former Players Association out of Philadelphia for about 4 years. So that was Ryan, and Art has been part of it. So, we're going to go there. He did a lot of great things as an administrator, a whole lot of different folks, and was one of the reasons, again, I got to go to Penn State. In fact, he took me on my visit to my parents. At that point, they were older and they didn't really drive, so he took us up there, man. I remember him and Joe had a little battle of wits, man. I don't know what that was about, but I guess he was just trying to protect me.
Okay.
Yeah. But, hey, man, I can't wait to come up.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, it's hard to just mention the score, man, because the offense, I'll take any type of win. I'm thinking we're going to win 33-16.
Okay.
Yeah, hey, you know what? I'm a second that score and just go 34.
Yeah.
That's what I picked, Jimmy. I picked 34-13 myself.
I'm going
gonna go 28-10.
Okay.
Whoa. Okay.
28-10.
So there you have it. It's already up on. It's on our website now. So if you go to
We'll get it.
line5.com, you see our picks, guys. They're all there. So.
And what did we drop to again? I missed that, man. I've been missing it. We dropped to what?
Oh, on the rankings.
As far as rankings go.
16.
Yeah.
They punished us. They punished us from the beginning, man. I mean, look, these guys know
It was a
that.
setup. It was a setup.
They got Michigan State. Michigan State's ranked 13 now.
Right, but
State's 13. Ohio State is 11.
okay, but why is Clemson still in the top 10 when they lost to Syracuse?
Makes no sense.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was a setup.
Yeah, earlier in the year, I didn't like being number 2.
And I believe it or not, I still think we can beat any team in this top 4 match. I think we can beat anyone. I really agree with you.
Well, we get
You know, especially Notre Dame. I would love
yeah.
if something doesn't work out the way. I hope we play Notre Dame.
I would love for that to be a bowl game. Wouldn't that be a good bowl game? Let us play Notre Dame in the bowl game.
Notre Dame is smack Penn State.
Well, I hope so. Jimmy, come on now, Jimmy.
You know what, though, Jimmy? I think during the season right now, and when we've been going through, perhaps you give them 3 weeks, man.
Yes.
I think we got something for them, baby.
That's right. I'm with you, big dude. I'm with you on that. What about the Tide, man? Tell me about the Tide, guys. Those guys, that's like a machine. I mean, what about who's going to stop the Tide this year? Who do you think they're going to play? Because you know they're going to make it.
That was one more thing I wanted to ask you guys. If Alabama played in the Big Ten, do you think they would roll like that, or do you think they would get beat up like everybody else?
No. No, they would not. They would not be the way they are right now. They would not dominate. They'd be a great team, but they're going to be no different than Ohio State, or Penn State, or Michigan, or Michigan State, even Wisconsin.
And that's because I think the recruiting would be different too.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be really interesting to see who else we got. People who we didn't get before. Those other teams, they may get them. You know, we're bringing a team like when Penn State came into the Big Ten. I'm sure the recruiting changed. I mean, they got good players anyway. But, man, the stuff they got. Then you got kids from Jersey, man. You know, from they going out to Wisconsin still. You know, something is different, man.
Sure.
Like, wow.
But now let's give this as an idea. What about we drop some of these cupcake games and start playing outside of conference? A team like Alabama, a team like Notre Dame, or back to some of our rivalries like West Virginia. I'd like to see pick up some of those games, because strength of schedule now makes a difference with rankings and overall picking the Final Four.
Well, I thought that we picked up some of the games. I can't remember what they were, but I thought we were supposed to be doing a little bit better as I look ahead to 2019, 2020.
I hope so.
Of course, Jacob, I'm sure he could look it up in a hot second.
Bringing it.
You better get ready to cut up that thing.
I have it ready when you get here.
Yeah, well, I'll be looking for one of your big king-size hamburgers at the tailgate, man.
Well, hey,
get big dudes early.
Let me
ask. No matter what happens, you ain't gonna get first place. So.
Well, let me ask you for Saturday. You're gonna be getting back in late, Stefan, and getting since the early kickoff. You guys gonna head over to the thing for the veterans and all before the game and all?
Man, I haven't even thought about what I want to do yet. I mean, it'll be cool for me, man, to be honest with you, man. We do have a big Veterans Day. That's how busy Friday is for me at the university, at Stockton University. And I'm going to be there half a day, then go get everything together. Go make sure I got a fresh ball head, go to the dinner, and then go get ball head. Yeah, one of the barbershop dogs,
The hands, dog. Those your hands, man.
But yeah, I'm planning to do as much as I can. We're going to get 14.
I remember the girls went ball for like a couple times.
That was Spice. Oh wow, that was Spice with ball.
That was Spice. I never went ball head. Hey, I ain't have a ball head. I ain't have a ball head until I retired. Maybe like 2 years ago. Y'all know, look, hey, y'all know I got big ears. I look like a fat elf.
Oh, man.
You got the wrinkles in the back, man. You got the wrinkles.
You always got that tight fade, though, Jimmy. I see that. You got that tight fade. You got that tight Brooklyn fade, man. Come on, man. I mean,
I want that fat nasty Nas. What do you get from me? Hey, come on, man. Come on, man. What do you get from me?
So, Cove, you're going to be up, right, Saturday?
Yeah.
I'll look for you. If I don't see you any pregame stuff, I'll see you on the sidelines.
Yeah, we'll have to definitely skip. Yeah, that would be great.
I just hope the weather warms up a little bit. I hate these cold. It gets cold out like this, man. That's nothing.
And that's another thing, Skip. You know, sometimes after the first half or that second quarter, you kind of just say, man, I might just have to go inside. But it'd be nice if they could bring that to the game where you can watch it from the lounge.
Oh, yeah. Well, here's hoping a new stadium will allow us to have a view to the field. We have the Letterman Club. What stadium? I was watching a game last week where they had there's two layers to the stadium, and in between it there's glass the whole way around the whole field. All right, and that's where they had all the different suites. And I'd like us to have something like that where we would be able to. Maybe that's Miami Stadium. I think it was Miami Stadium I was looking at. And I was like, man, that's
wow.
Yeah, we're gonna build this thing.
That almost makes me feel like, wow, wouldn't that be nice for the Letterman to have that?
Hey, well, that's a great recruiting tool, and I don't know why it has. I mean, I mentioned it when we had our Letterman Club meeting last time. I said, look, is anybody telling these architects and guys, look, we need to have a Letterman lounge with a view to the field? I mean, you want to have a great recruiting tool? Let's have something like that. Because everything was kind of an afterthought. Beaver Stadium was piecemealed together from the start to what it is now. It's been piecemealed. Let's start from the ground up and build something that's better than anybody else has in the country. And I think we need to build it with something like that, where look, guys, this is a lounge. We get a great view. This is why everybody comes up here. Look at our guys down in the field. We can come up here, watch a game, be part of the family. And that's what I look forward to. Hopefully that'll happen. But who knows? Yeah, you just can't ever tell what's going forward with this. So something's up. We'll see.
So what is the plan for the veterans? Is there what do they normally do for that game?
That's a good question.
Well, over at they either have over at the Jordan Center or over at the ice rink, or both. They have them both opened up, and they actually have usually like a luncheon or tailgate for them. And my hats off to all the volunteers who come out to help serve, and hats off also to and much thanks for all the fans who donate the tickets, and much thanks for the companies that donate the food. So much thanks for the people who contribute to this to make it happen. Penn State, what can I say? Until you start giving some tickets to veterans, I really kind of say shame on you, because they still expect the fans to buy them, and they still expect the fans to give them away. Penn State still gets paid in full. I'd like to see them offer more for veterans and across the board. We'll touch on that next week afterwards. We'll see how things go this week, and we'll give a commentary next week on that.
Yeah, will there be a Letterman's Club meeting?
I have not checked my email on that. I think usually there is that morning, first thing on Saturday. But a good question. Let me take a quick look here.
Oh, I didn't know that. Is that for the?
It's a semi-annual. Yeah, we usually have one every homecoming. That's when everybody comes back. If I remember correctly, they'd like to get everybody up real early in the morning for this one. So.
I forgot about that. Never mind. Don't look it up.
Well, that's kind of been the deterrent. So.
I'll still be fighting for bathroom with Kirker, though, man. We'll be arguing over the bathroom. He's gonna come and try to rush me out the shower. Dude, man, hurry up.
But I didn't see anything get pushed out. Let's see.
Maybe not.
Let's see. I'm trying to search my email for.
Yeah, I didn't notice anything, but
yeah, it's all good, man.
I'd like to. It's one thing I just haven't kept up on, but I didn't. There's nothing and it seems to show. I'm just
Sorry.
indexing it right now. Oh, here's one for. Okay, here it is. Here's one. Nope, that's not that. Let me see. I'll try to find it. Let's see. Angie, let's see if she's putting anything out. Nothing yet. Rutgers game notes. Nope. Rutgers game notes. I didn't see anything in the notes from Rutgers. Yeah, I don't see anything. Don't see.
No problem, Skip. We'll be there. Like I said, this is great for the veterans. You know, my father was a veteran. World War II, 1943 to 1945. Unit called Hell on Wheels, and as they called it back in the day, an all-colored unit. And they kicked butt, man. And the Black Force of Germany and everything else, man. So, you know, definitely we pay tribute to all the men and women that do this thing. Service.
Yes, Lord bless them all, and everybody safe travels coming in this weekend. We'll go ahead and sign it off, guys. On behalf of the Grizz, Jimmy Kennedy, thank you, Jimmy, and your Cove. We'll see you this weekend, buddy. Stefan, safe travels to you, brother. Look forward to seeing you. My name's Skip Drabelvis. It's been a great time here. We'll catch you here next week talking Penn State football on Lions Live. We'll return here to your regularly scheduled programming. Thank you again so much, folks. Have a great night. Lord bless.
That's the universe. See you. Amen.
The Democrat Party was reached of its vitality by former President Barack Obama and others in the lead up to the 2016 election campaign. This from Donna Brazile, interim chair of the DNC formerly. She says, quote, "We had three Democratic parties, the party of Barack Obama, the party of Hillary Clinton, and this weak little vestige of a party led by Debbie Wasserman Schultz that was doing a very poor job of getting people who were not president elected." Brazile wrote all of this in her new book,